All right, guys. Good performance for a lot of the game by our guys. I thought they did a really good job. We're locked in. This Western team played really well last time out against Northwestern. Obviously, that got our guys' attention as close as that game was. I think Dwayne's got a good team, well coached. Once they get a little healthier, I think they're going to have a good year. So good luck to those guys.
When you're learning a lot about a young team early in the season, did you know you'd be as locked in as you would be against a team that most people would expect? I know you had respect for them. People expect you to win this game big. Did you know you'd be as locked in as you were?
Well, I don't ever pay attention to what, in terms of games, what people think, because college basketball is so unique in that, and I think there were 12 teams that lost by games in the last week and a half. 4 of them were ranked teams, so you don't ever pay attention to whatever any of that stuff is. The reality is it's, you take it game by game. You got to earn every game you win. People who were in it and have played it and who've done it, they understand that. And that's the challenge every game is you got to go earn it. Because if you don't, you can have a game that goes right down to the wire, and that's the reality. There's a lot of good players in college basketball, good teams, well-coached teams. So I think it did help that, playing Northwestern as close as they did, probably got our guys' respect, or got our guys' attention. I think they always had our respect, got our guys' attention.
Seeing your team then, I guess, pull away the way that you did, you had a 21-3 run in the first half and just consistently coming after them and not letting them really climb back in. What did you learn about your team, maybe from that aspect of building a lead and then maintaining it?
Well, I thought we really imposed ourselves defensively in the first half, and then the second half we just weren't as good defensively or offensively. Certainly not defensively, so that was frustrating. But it was as good as 20 minutes as we played in a while, and we really physically were locked in, mentally were locked in, and imposed ourselves. It was a really good, really high level 20 minutes.
What do you think it was that made the difference in the second half? Was it a loss of focus? I mean, what fueled the decline?
Some different lineups probably, and then I think that's a challenge for kids. I think we were up, 25 or 30, or I don't know what that largest lead was, but I think there's a standard you have to play to. We didn't always meet that on every possession, but we got to get better with that.
Started 7 of 10 from 3 in this game. What did you see to fuel that hot shooting start?
Great job moving and sharing the ball, man. Just a great job. Our guys really moved it and shared it. The offense was highly efficient. Transition was efficient. 10 assists, 5 turnovers in the first half, 10 assists. It just was really a terrific job by our guys sharing the ball.
We saw Felix kind of stay in there late in the game. Was that just to kind of help him get some extra minutes after the first couple of games not playing as many?
Yeah, I just wanted, game conditioning. That was all that was, just game conditioning.
Yeah, and what do you see from Felix today? 10 rebounds, better rebounding effort.
10 or 11, 10 or 11?
11.
Okay. Yeah, I think that just, he needs to keep rebounding the ball. Just really challenging him on that end to rebound the ball at a higher level. I thought he took a step there.
And earlier this season, I was surprised that Bruce and Roddy said they had never had in-game alley-oop or any kind of connection like that. We've seen that every game this year. What are you seeing from that connection right now on the court?
Guys that have just played a lot together now, a year plus. Guys that they're very close friends. So I think that always helps too. But they have a good connection on the floor, good connection off the floor. They like each other. They're roommates, so it's a good thing.
Bruce today with 5 assists, no turnovers, so on the year is now at 18-2. What have you seen from him over the summer and to this point in the season that's him progressing of more than just a scorer, but creating things for everybody else?
I think that's the biggest thing, one of the bigger things for him. I also need him to defensive rebound the ball a little bit better, but I think, we'd like for him to have, 4 or 5, 6 assists a game. He's got to keep finding people, but at the same time, there's other times where he's going to be one of our leading scorers. So there's a balance there, but he does a great job taking care of the ball. Great job. We'd probably even challenge him on occasion and take a little bit more of a chance on certain occasions with the ball. because I think he can, you know, we want him to do that some, but he's done a great job taking care of the ball here.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys were playing with a lot of like added pace in the first half, just like more in transition, like kind of like you were saying. Was that sort of like an emphasis for you guys, like going into the game to kind of play with a lot of pace early on?
Well, it's been an emphasis all year for us, and sometimes we've been better at it than others. You know, a lot of it's predicated on our defense. It just is, it's just so important, you know. But we have been pushing it off makes more this year than we have in the past. I thought our pace was good, and it also helped that we didn't face a zone. So, you know, we could have just like there's a rhythm to playing offensive basketball when you practice 75% of your possessions against man. There's just a rhythm that naturally happens. Well, we didn't have that rhythm for the bulk of these first 3 games, and certainly for 2 of the 3.
Yeah, and then Jamison with the team at 13 points. It seems like he's getting more comfortable out there. Is that kind of what you're saying too? Just having more comfort on the court, I guess.
He and Dale.
Yeah.
He and Dale. I think both those guys. Dale's the one I noticed tonight, just because Dale's a much better shooter than what he had shown early, and now it's like, okay, he's relaxing a little bit and playing like we've seen him play.
What else do you need out of Dale? What do you want out of him? What you see today? That
He's got to be really good for us on the ball defensively, and then he's got to be disciplined defensively. He's got to be able to be aggressive in passing lanes and then have discipline too. So there's a balance there with him. He's learning a little bit of a defensive system than what he played before. So I think some of that's been new for him. But just, I liked his pace today. His speed's terrific. I liked his shot prep and shot readiness today off of some of their gaps. Their Michigan State assistant Dwayne does a great job, but it's a highly gapped up defense. And I thought he punched some gaps, and he also had great shot prep and playing off penetration.
I heard your comment on Big Ten Network about Jameson battle, and just how within another few games you feel like he will feel like he's, maybe it's just a feeling, I don't know, that he'll be part of this group and contributing even higher level, more comfortable. I don't know, just what do you see out of him? He just feels like he's on the verge of an explosion of some sort.
Yeah, I think comfort and aggressiveness is what we've been challenging him with, Steve. And I think at the end of the day, he's an aggressive kid. He can be more aggressive, but also when you're a transfer and you're probably going to be one of the leading scorers, he's also a kid that's, he just wants to blend in. He wants to make the right offensive play. And I think he's done that, but he can even grow and be a little more aggressive. But I think more than anything with he and Dale, there's just a level of comfort that comes with every game, every passing game. You know a little bit more what we expect in games from them, and I think that can settle them a little bit. And all of that helps. It's not like being a freshman, but there are some similarities to it when you're a transfer in the first year.
Jameson mentioned chemistry. He likes the chemistry he's seeing. Like you were just talking about being a new guy. How are you feeling about this group coming together? I mean, it's only 4 games.
Yeah.
You got a long way to go, I know,
Yeah.
but do you like what you're seeing so far, and what do you like the most?
Yeah, I do really like it. I just think we got to keep the main thing, and I think we got to keep what we're about and what we intend to be about as the main focus. And I'm speaking general here, but I think our guys know what I'm talking about when I say that. So that will get challenged this year. Certainly we play an outstanding tournament, an outstanding team on Friday. So once you start to go through some of those battles, but even the loss to A&M, our guys were great. The next day, but that always gets challenged once you go through pockets of ups and downs as a team. That chemistry, that togetherness, that commitment to kind of your core principles, that gets tested once you go through all that stuff.
Does some of that fall in line? The guys were saying that, like, and Bruce has mentioned this a few times, hitting singles. Apparently that's something that Bruce says every time in a huddle, hit singles. I remember guys saying that last year. It didn't seem like that was always maybe getting through to guys. where is this, I guess, where do you think you are with the team as far as being able to do some of those things and take the play in front of you instead of trying to hit a home run?
Yeah, better at them. I think there's a maturity that comes with that as a player, where you realize, hey, if you're down 10, if you want to win, have a chance to win the game, you got to win the next possession. And I think there's a maturity that comes with that, because that takes a minute. And I think our guys learned that through some of the losing streaks last year, that you really do have to hit singles, and you gotta just make the next right play on the next possession. So, it's good that he says that, Bruce. Bruce has a really bright mind when it comes to that, those kind of things.
Were you trying to go 2 for 1 at the end of the first half?
Yeah, definitely 2 for 1. Yeah, I think we missed the read, but yeah, we've done it. We did it in an earlier game too. But yeah, that plan was to go for 2 for 1, and they know exactly when the shot needs to be taken. We didn't quite execute the pass.
Yeah, just going back to Dale for a moment, I kind of wanted to ask just how important his development as a scorer, as a passer is for this team, because really, after Bruce and Roddy, he's the guy to handle the ball off the bench.
Yeah, I think until Tacey gets fully healthy and we see how he's coming along, you're right. It's critical. He's important for us. He's important for us. He knows that. He's got to keep developing. He's got to keep getting better. He's got to keep playing to his strengths and impacting the game as we know he can. So yeah, he's good. He's a really important part of this group. All right, guys. Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving.